I really believed what we had was real, not perfect. Not like those dramatic love stories you see everywhere, but something quiet, something honest, something that slowly becomes a part of your life without making noise. My name is Aria. I'm 24 years old. And before he came into my life, I had already learned to be careful. I wasn't someone who trusted easily. I didn't fall for words. I didn't believe in promises unless they were backed by actions. But somehow, he changed that without even trying too hard. His name was Leo, and the first time we spoke, it felt simple. Just a normal conversation. Nothing intense, nothing that would make you stop and think this is something special. But there was something about the way he talked, something calm, something natural, something that made me feel comfortable in a way I didn't expect. And that comfort is where everything started. Because when someone makes you feel comfortable, you stop protecting yourself. You start opening up without realizing it. We started talking more often, not in a forced way, not because we had to, but because it just felt easy. Conversations flowed naturally, sometimes about random things, sometimes about deeper topics. And every time we talked, it felt like we were building something. Something slow but meaningful, something that didn't need big words to feel real. He would say things like, "I like talking to you," or "You make my day better." And those words, even though they were simple, they stayed with me. They made me feel like I mattered, like I had a place in his life. And slowly, without even realizing it, I started believing that what we had was different, that it wasn't just another temporary connection, that it was something real, something that would grow into something more. We talked every day, sometimes late at night, sometimes early in the morning, sharing thoughts, jokes, small moments, and those little things became the most important part of my day. I started looking forward to his messages. I started checking my phone more often. I started smiling at things that didn't even seem important before, and I didn't question it, because it felt right. It felt real. And when something feels real, you don't stop to ask if it actually is. You just believe it. And that belief is what makes everything beautiful and dangerous at the same time. There were moments, small ones, that didn't quite fit. Times when he would disappear for hours, sometimes even a day without saying anything. And when he came back, he would act normal, like nothing happened. And I noticed it, of course I did, but I ignored it. Because I didn't want to ruin what we had. I didn't want to ask questions that might change things. I didn't want to face the possibility that maybe things were not as real as I believed. So I stayed quiet. I accepted what he gave me, and I told myself it was enough, because at that time, it felt enough. But deep down, there was always a small voice, a quiet doubt that I chose not to listen to, because sometimes the truth is not something you're ready to hear. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and my feelings grew stronger, deeper, more real. I wasn't just talking to him anymore. I was emotionally connected. I cared about him. I thought about him. I imagined a future where we would finally meet, where everything would make sense, where all the small confusions would disappear. And I held on to that idea even though I never said it out loud, even though I never asked him what we really were, because I was afraid. Afraid that asking the truth might break the illusion I had created. And then one day, something happened that changed everything. Something simple, something small but powerful enough to break everything I believed in. I was scrolling through my phone when I saw something that made my heart stop. It was a comment, just a simple comment, but it caught my attention. It was from a girl, and the way she was talking to him, the way he replied, it felt too familiar, too similar to how he talked to me. And at first, I tried to ignore it. I tried to tell myself it didn't mean anything, that I was overthinking. But then I looked more closely, and I saw more interactions, more conversations, more signs that what I thought was special wasn't actually special at all. It was just something he did, something he repeated, something he shared with others. And in that moment, everything inside me started to fall apart. Not loudly, not suddenly, but slowly, like something breaking piece by piece, because I realized something I had been avoiding for so long. What we had was not real, not in the way I thought it was. It was one-sided, built on my feelings, my assumptions, my belief in something that was never clearly defined. And that realization hurt more than anything else, because it made everything we had feel incomplete, like a story that was never meant to have an ending. That night, he texted me like always, like nothing had changed, like everything was normal, and I looked at his message differently. For the first time, I didn't feel happy, I didn't feel excited, I felt empty. Because now I knew those words didn't mean what I thought they did. They were just part of a pattern, something he did without thinking, something that didn't carry the weight I had given it. And for the first time, I asked him something I had been avoiding for months. I asked, "What are we?" There was a pause, longer than usual, and then he replied, "I thought we were just talking." And that sentence, simple as it was, broke something inside me, not because it was harsh, but because it was honest in a way I wasn't ready for, because it showed me that everything I believed, everything I felt, everything I imagined was never shared. It was never mutual, it was just mine. And in that moment, I understood something important. Just because something feels real to you doesn't mean it is real for the other person. Feelings don't become reality unless they are shared, unless they are acknowledged, unless they are built together. And I had built something alone, without realizing it. I didn't argue, I didn't try to change his mind, I didn't try to hold on to something that was never truly mine. I just said, "I thought we had something real." And he replied, "I'm sorry if it felt that way." And those words, they hurt, but they also gave me clarity, because they showed me that sometimes the pain doesn't come from what someone did. It comes from what you believed, from the meaning you gave to something that was never clearly defined. And for the first time, I chose to accept the truth. Not the version I wanted, but the reality in front of me. I chose to walk away, not because I didn't care, but because I finally understood that caring alone is not enough. You deserve clarity. You deserve honesty. You deserve something that doesn't make you question your place in someone's life. And if you're listening to this, if you've ever felt like something was real only to realize it wasn't, remember this: your feelings were real, your intentions were real, your heart was real, even if the situation wasn't. And that doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. But the moment you realize the truth, you have to be strong enough to accept it and walk away, because holding on to something that isn't real will only hurt you more. And letting go, even though it's painful, is the first step towards something better, something honest, something that won't leave you questioning everything. Thank you for listening. And if this story felt real to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because sometimes the truth we avoid is the one that sets us free.